Hello YouTube, it is April 19th, 2018, and coming off of nearly a week since Beachella, there has been an interesting topic that has resurfaced that I want to get on in head and get out the way, and that's the topic of Beyonce versus Michael Jackson. I've always stayed away from this subject because I know I'm on the opposite end of the fence, and it's like, yeah. And so let's get all the stuff out the way right now. We ain't going to even drag this off. So due to the nature of this video and the fact that it's going to probably spread like wildfire, let me get the obvious out the way. Yes, I am the original girl known for the bonnets before Tammy Roman. Um, I'm not bald-headed. Matter of fact, I got my darn gone flexi rods in. That's why my hair is not out today. So, yeah, just let's get that out the way for the first minute of this video so people don't think, oh, why do she got the bonnet on, this, that, and the third. Okay, let's get to the topic of the video. Beyonce versus Michael Jackson. I'm so sick and tired of this darn on subject at the end of the day. People are saying, oh, Michael Jackson, Michael Jackson, Michael Jackson, Michael Jackson. Guess what? I'm not saying this because I'm Secretary of State of the Beehive. I'm taking myself out. Y'all know when I do these comparisons, I always look at it objectively. And I don't, say Beyonce is, I don't view Beyonce as God. I don't view Beyonce as the greatest entertainer that ever did it in life. But guess what? I can look at this objectively and tell you without a shadow of a doubt on this specific question, who is the better live performer? Quote, better live performer, it would be definitely Beyonce. And the reason why Beyonce is the live performer is these reasons right here, especially of the day. Number one, just disregard getting into Michael Jackson in a second. The fact that Beyonce can only be compared nowadays to somebody dead. They used to keep comparing her to Adele for the longest until they finally seen Adele live and they seen Beyonce sing live and they was like, oh, okay, this girl is asking the darn on replay the stuff 2 times. She done had vocal surgery twice and she's only been out 10 years. Beyonce has been in the game 20 years and ain't had no vocal surgery. So y'all done canceled out Adele. Y'all done said Lady Gaga up into her last 2 albums. Then y'all said, okay, Beyonce outdoes that. Then y'all tried to give it to Rihanna. And then y'all seen Rihanna's last album that was based off of a pure body of work without the theatrics, the background. When her just lying on R&B music and you compare it to Lemonade, y'all was like, okay, we can't give it to Rihanna. So now y'all have gone back to comparing Beyonce to darn on Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey. So the fact that you got to go back in the past to compare Beyonce to somebody definitely says that she's undeniably the baddest entertainer of this time. But y'all still don't want to give her the credit and darn gonna want to give credit to somebody who's been dead for over 10 years. So I guess y'all expect darn on music to die with Michael Jackson. Is that what we doing now? Because it's like Michael Jackson been dead for 10 years. Prince has been dead for 2 years. And it's like we can't pass the music to another generation. If anybody is darn going deserving of the title to pass on from Michael Jackson, Prince, Whitney Houston, I would think all 3 of them would be looking down and darn going to be praising Beyonce. Because who we going to give it to? We're in a day and age where darn on Cardi B is darn on charting #1 on the darn on Billboard. We got Drake leading the darn on rap industry. We got Tekashi 6ix9ine talking about he's better than darn on Biggie and Tupac, looking like a darn on cross between a rainbow, My Little Pony, and darn on the Leprechaun. We got Future, the mumble rapper. I mean, we got DJ Khaled, who done became a darn on singer, darn on doing remixes to everything. So during this day and age, we just can't give the title to Beyonce. I would think Michael Jackson, Prince, and Whitney Houston would all be looking down and be like, we riding with the Queen Bee on this one. We don't want none of these other people representing what we set for. But comparing her to Michael Jackson, she is undeniably the baddest performer. Because of the fact that every time y'all compare these two, y'all don't never stay on topic. How come when people say Beyonce is the baddest performer, y'all always go to, oh, Michael Jackson was Oh, he sold this many albums, and Michael Jackson had this, and Michael Jackson had that. Okay, we not talking about what Michael Jackson had. We ain't talking about videos, and y'all keep saying his videos were like darn on stories and all of that. Well, guess what? Darn on Beyonce stage performance, if you ever go to one, her darn on backdrop is always like a story. How come every time she comes out with a new tour, that darn on girl always managed to have a video playing in the background that can darn on be its own body work by itself? But we ain't gonna compare the overall discovery of Beyonce to darn on Michael Jackson. The question was, who is better, Beyonce or Michael Jackson, performance-wise only, live performances, not videos? So why do I keep seeing Michael Jackson stands keep getting off topic talking about, oh, his videos are better. He writes his own music. I don't give a damn if darn gone God wrote both their music. And the darn gone question was, who is the better live performer? So stop this bullshit about who written the best music, because guess what? Most artists did not write their greatest hits. Whitney Houston's greatest hit was written by Dolly Parton. I Will Always Love You, which was on the 1992 Darn Gone Bodyguard soundtrack, was not even written by Whitney Houston, and that is her most recognized artwork in history. She sung the hell out of that song, but guess who collect the checks? Dolly Parton is the one to collect the darn gone checks out of that darn gone soundtrack. Darn gone Whitney Houston get a little darn gone fee for singing it, but Dolly Parton is the one that gets the money off of that. Darn gone, Candy wrote songs for Destiny's Child. Missy Elliott wrote songs for darn gone Destiny's Child, their biggest hits. Guess what? Michael Jackson had a few people writing his shit too. So everybody's darn gone had people written stuff for them. So I don't care who written all their works or who didn't. Mariah Carey written all her works for the most part. Except for some here and there. Now, she had some help from L.A. Reid, The Dream, and several other people. But for the most part, she written her works. And guess where she's at now? So it's not about who's darn gone the songwriter. We saying who is the best live performer. So now let me go into categories of what live performance means. Live performance means we judging off of choreography. We judging off of vocals. We judging off of attire. We judging off of originality. Now I'm sorry, Queen B. We will have to give Michael Jackson the darn gone point on the originality one. I will give him that one. When he was doing his thing, I think he was unique in his stuff. Now Beyonce, I love you, Court. I got you later. But Michael Jackson won the originality part, and we judging off of cinematography. Now I do realize Michael Jackson started in the 1970s and went on into the 80s and 90s. So I'm going to judge based off of the timeline. I'm not going to, how can I say it? I do understand that holographic technology, the big lights and stuff, were not as, like, you did not have HD, you did not have DVD players and all of that back then. You did not have 720, let alone 3D and 4K technology. So I'm going to judge equally based off of the time frames that both of these artists were in. So based off of stage setup and display, both Beyonce and Michael Jackson would be equal. For what Beyonce has access to her right now, what Michael Jackson had access to back then, both of them are equivalent on the cinematography and the all of that. When it comes to stage attire, once again, both of them are equally meshed up for the most part. Now, I want to lean towards Beyonce had. I'm saying Beyonce's going to have like 52%, but I would say they're about even. Michael Jackson 48%, Beyonce 52%. Okay, YouTube, as y'all can just tell from the wardrobe change, it is the next day. Obviously, y'all know, very busy life. Between states at the moment, all of that. I have not even told y'all that I've been going between states for the past month and some change now. But anyways, back to the topic of Michael Jackson. Like I was saying yesterday, I was leaning more towards Beyonce for the fashions, and I looked back and had some time to look over the history again, and I'm going to give Beyonce more like 60% on the fashions. And I know Michael Jackson is a guy, but with everything else that he did, from the bleach job to the darn on nose chopping. I think he could have gotten away with a little bit of shimmy fashions, honey. I mean, if this was more like a competition between Prince and darn on Beyonce, it'll be a harder choice. If this was like, you know, the original queen that's ever done it, honey, Miss darn on trying to be delivered at 99, bitch. Really? You on death's door and now you want the back pedal? Mr. Tutti Frutti? Woo! Like, in those day and ages, it was not considered homophobic to have all the glitz and the glams and the fashion. So, considering Michael Jackson was afforded the opportunity to be able to give you all of that without the fear of homophobia like it is nowadays, yeah, I'm going to have to give Beyonce 60% because Michael Jackson was a little bit redundant in the fashions compared to Beyonce. Especially compared to, you know, older legends like well, in his same age range, Prince, and then also compared to Lionel Richie. So last but not least, did we go on vocal ability? I think we established that Beyonce is clearly the best vocalist. Michael Jackson is a high tenor that goes up to a F6. He cannot hold for extended periods of time. Let me see. As a high tenor, he has a surprisingly low range that can go down to an E2, which is very hard for high tenors to do. Beyonce is a clitoral mezzo-soprano who has a superior lower vocal range, can do solid C3s that even Mariah Carey could not do. Even in her prime, Mariah Carey's voice could not support such a low note based off of her voice being designed to be so light and airy. Beyonce has one of the most complex darn on vibratos in the game. Nobody's vibrato now, or not too many legends in the past, can match hers. What else? Both of them have vocal endurance. Both can darn on be on stage for extended periods of time and sing without little to no decline in their vocal abilities. Now, what separates Beyonce from Michael Jackson is the fact that she has to transcend into multiple genres, whereas Michael Jackson stayed between pop and R&B and a little bit of dance. Beyonce, within a 2-hour set, can go from country, reggae, techno, pop, electronical, heavy metal, dance music, R&B, country, etc. Like, she has such a diverse range of catalog, ranging from Haunted, Daddy's Little Girl, Daddy's Lessons. I'm talking about Daddy's Little Girls, Lord, Tyler Perry in my head. Let me see, 6-inch, Halo, Single Ladies Dance Remix, Baby Boy, Standing on the Sun as far as her reggae style of music. So, yeah, she has a lot more versatility when it comes to music. And she's able to sing most of those live girls. Oh, and let's get into live performances. Beyonce sings at least like 60 to 80% of her performances live. For the exception of when she's in intense heavy choreography. Whereas Michael Jackson, I looked at him, and even on the Super Bowl, he lip sync most of his performances all the way through. Whereas Beyonce did most of her Super Bowl live. Once again, you look back, Beyonce did like 75% of the Super Bowl live. Michael Jackson did like 30% of the Super Bowl live. But and I don't get it, because it's like he's known for doing choreography by himself. He doesn't have to be so, in sync with the background dancers. Beyonce has to be in sync with the background dancers. Then she'll give you something like the Billboard Music Awards, where she's now being in sync with the darn holograms behind her. Like, we seen her title performance where she has to be in sync with the holograms, and she's doing all of this with the holograms, and then she gets back and does the complex choreography with the background dancers. Michael Jackson didn't have to worry about all the in syncness that Beyonce does. So I'm going to have to give that a little bit to Beyonce as well, while maintaining the vocals. So yeah, ultimate winner, I will have to definitely say, is Beyonce. Beyonce has overall, and once again, how did I grade this? I graded this on a scale of fashions being 10%. So fashions only count for 10%. Cinematography, stage attire, the presence, and all of that accounts for 15%. So that's 25. No, it counts for 30. How am I going to do it? Because the other ones are split between 35. So 10. Okay, cinematography counts for 20%. So stage attire counts for 10%. Cinematography and they whole backdrops counts for 20. So that remains 35% towards vocals. Oh shoot, I forgot the other category because I forgot originality. We did give originality to Michael Jackson. So 10%. No, we're going to give 20%, 15%. 15% originality goes to Michael Jackson. So we got 10% for attire that goes to Beyonce. 15% goes towards Michael Jackson for originality. 20% they were both equal, so they split 10 points. Like, I'm literally going to be fair on this. I'm about to darn going to do a tally and see who is legitimately the best. I'm leaning, like I said, towards Beyonce because of all that she has to do. So, like I said, we did a scale. 10% is going to go to attire, right? And that's going to be Beyonce. 15% goes to originality, and we gave that to Michael Jackson, so we're going to put MJ down here. 20% as far as cinematography goes to both, so they split that. That's 10%. So 10, 25, 45. No, originality we're going to bump up to darn going 25%. No, I meant cinematography, we're going to bump up to 25%. So next comes vocal ability, which is Beyonce. Shit, my darn pen went out, y'all. I'm saying Beyonce done won. Now, I don't know the exact percentages. Y'all know I'm a Capricorn. I'm trying to get the percentages together for y'all. So, vocal ability, we're going to give to Beyonce because Beyonce is a clitoral mezzo-soprano who has to do over half a different genres of music while being in sync with intense choreography in 6-inch heels versus Michael Jackson, who has 4 octaves, high tenor, who is restricted to more R&B, pop, dance music. Yeah, and does not have to perform in heels, and they're going to be in sync all the time with background dancers versus Beyonce. So we're going to give her that. So let me see, 10% B, 15% Michael Jackson, 25% is split between both. 25% vocals goes to Beyonce. So originality, singing, performance, I'm going to have to give, performance-wise, overall dance breakdown, that's going to be a split. I'm going to say, I'm going to have to say 15% Beyonce, 10% Michael. So the final numbers are, let me see, so 12.5 each. So B has a total of 10%, 12.5, that's 22.5, 37.5, 52.5. So Beyonce has a total of 52.5%. Michael Jackson has a total of, obviously less. He will have a total of 47. 47.5. Okay, that's my final breakdown, y'all. I literally had to do that numbers on a little pad right here. But y'all see, I tried to be as fair as possible. I ain't want nobody saying, oh, well, Juan is just giving the title to Beyonce without no breakdown or nothing. So I wanted to be very in-depth. So Like I said, the overall fashions go to Beyonce, so she got the full 10% of that. Originality, we gave, Michael Jackson that. Now, the reason originality is a little bit lower is because a lot of artists are not inventors of their own, especially nowadays. I mean, in the 2000s, you got Ariana Grande who models Mariah Carey. You got darn going, Lady Gaga who models Britney Spears and Madonna. You got the list goes on and on. Chris Brown who models Michael Jackson. You got darn going Sierra who models Janet. So it's not restricted to Beyonce, and it's like even the legends had people that they aspired to. I don't know why the new generation, the millennials, get flat for that. When darn going Michael Jackson was inspired by darn going James Brown. Darn gone Prince was inspired by darn gone Lionel Richie. I just don't get it. But anyways, vocal ability 25%, all of that went to Beyonce. That's not even a competition. And then last but not least was stage performance. I gave 15% to Beyonce because once again, for her to do the performances in heels, has to do multiple genres of music. She has to do complex riffs and runs, all which Michael Jackson could not do. Michael Jackson had a good voice, but Michael Jackson was not, sustaining darn on operatic C6 notes for an extended period of time. And for y'all that like to say Beyonce lip syncs, if you go to her recent performance at Coachella, you see that on Flawless, she did a complete acoustic version of Flawless where she does the C6 notes completely a cappella with no vocal support from the Sugar Mamas. Y'all know the background dancers are known as the Sugar Mamas. They were not there that night, and she held those C6 vocals up by herself. So the fact that she can go into operatic notes and then go into a complex darn choreography such as Bow Down, and then go back into performing songs that are ballads like I Care, which once again she did live as well. Completely acoustic, no background, no soundtrack, or none of that. Whereas Michael Jackson always had the piece where he can always lip into the mic. Beyonce didn't have that. She was giving you complete no soundtrack. I'm going to show y'all motherfuckers I can sing completely live tonight. That until Destiny's Child came on, and I noticed that background music came up real quick. But we ain't gonna blame that. Not everybody can be B baby. But yeah, ultimately legendary Michael Jackson still good, but not better than Beyonce. And I find that the fans are wrong on both sides. Beyonce is not the best that's ever done it. Neither is Michael Jackson, but Michael Jackson fans are worse because it's like the man has been gone and dead for 10 years. He's respected darn on Beyonce. If anybody is going to carry the darn on legacy of darn on Michael Jackson, and if you had to choose between Chris Brown, Usher, and Beyonce, guess what? The woman is carrying the darn on crown today, honey. I best believe out of a darn on Usher, Chris Brown, and darn going Beyonce, Michael Jackson respected Beyonce the most out of those three people. I mean, I don't understand why we darn on still trying to pin black excellence against each other. Now, I understand, good competition and fun, but y'all take it to a whole nother level. Y'all act like darn on the music industry supposed to die when darn on Michael Jackson died. The music industry just supposed to die when Whitney Houston died. Life goes on. Just like James Brown passed and the music went on with Michael Jackson, the music is going on with Beyonce. And it's good that somebody of her caliber can keep it up to the level that Michael Jackson did. Because as we really, now, no matter how good Chris Brown can give the moves and shit, do you really want the entire legacy of Michael Jackson and the essence that he brought? Now, nobody cannot completely mirror him, nor is Beyonce trying to. Beyonce is her own person at the end of the day. She has influences from several people. But if anybody's going to at least give a homage of sorts to Michael Jackson, wouldn't you want it to be somebody of a caliber such as Beyonce, versus, you know, a Chris Brown or Usher. I mean, Usher, have you seen him in latest years, honey? Chris Brown, okay, he puts on a show, but he ain't selling out no stadiums to the degree that Beyonce is. Once again, I'm giving the crown to Beyonce. I love to know y'all thoughts on this. Y'all leave it down below. And matter of fact, I got a whole nother video coming up for darn y'all Michael Jackson fans. Y'all go ahead and, well, I ain't even going to say subscribe. Just look out for the other video, because y'all probably going to hate me by the time I dissect darn gone Michael Jackson fans together. Because the Beehive is always getting it. But I notice it's about time that these darn gone Jackson fans get a good old nice dragon from darn gone Diva One, honey. So y'all look out for that darn gone video. We about to dissect Michael Jackson's entire career in detail. And we're going to go into the reason why I think he's a little bit overhyped. Now, he's earned his discovery and, you know, legendary success, not taking that from him, just like Beyonce has. However, both of these people are not God at the end of the day. And the fact that y'all worship this man so much so, even after his death, to say nobody's relevant and everything. It's one thing to say nobody can compete with Michael Jackson, all this, that, and the third. But to say somebody's completely irrelevant simply based off of one man, yeah, I got a good dragon coming for darn on Michael Jackson fans, so y'all stay tuned for that. But far as this video, for the people who are not super stands either way, who can darn on look at this objectively, I'd love to know y'all opinions of my dissection of who is the overall better artist based off of stage attire, based off of cinematography, originality, vocal performance, and stage performance. And, you know, stage performance is choreography. That was split into two categories. That was worth 50% of my entire grading. Vocals are 25%. Choreography is another 25%. Stage attire is 10%. And darn going, the fashions is like 15%. I think so. Am I missing a category? Or did I bump originality to like 25? Okay, I decided I bumped the originality to 25%. Yeah, cinematography was actually 15%. So, okay. I gave cinematography 15%. I thought originality was more important, so... No, because I got Michael Jackson down for originality. Okay, my excuse for that was because of the fact that, you know, all the legends, even not Tina Turner, but Whitney Houston had her greatest hit written by Dolly Parton. So, stage attire, 10% go to B, 15% Michael Jackson originality. Both. Okay, cinematography I gave 25% to. And that was both Beyonce and Michael Jackson. 25% went to B for vocals. Performance ability, 15% B, and 10% Michael Jackson. I will have all those percentage breakdowns in my description box, just in case this video confused the hell out of y'all. But I would love to know y'all thoughts on my breakdown. And I will see y'all soon with more videos.